What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here then welcome to our little corner of the internet. Today we're watching a video titled The Plane That's Impossible to Replace. I'm guessing this is like a war aircraft, but I don't know. Let's see what this video is about.
If you've ever driven past a small airport on a clear day, you've probably seen a few of these. Small, white, high wings, buzzing around in circles. Looks like the most basic airplane you could possibly imagine. This is a Cessna 172, and more of them have been built.
I can't say that I've seen one, maybe I have, but I've always thought, like, when I've seen these small planes like fly around, that they're like some type of like hospital plane, or like I don't know, like, you know, like something for urgency. It's not a private plane. I don't think it's a war plane, but I just thought that it's something like, you know, to move. Well, actually the hospital planes are bigger, no? I don't know.
Than any other aircraft in history. The one coming off the factory line today looks almost identical to the one they built in 1956. Which is kind of strange when you think about it. Cars from 1956 look like museum pieces. Computers didn't even exist yet in any recognizable form. But this airplane just kept going.
But it's really cute though. It looks like a little cartoon airplane.
So before this plane came along, learning to fly was kind of terrifying. Most small planes in the 1950s had their wheels set up in a way where the nose pointed upward when you were on the ground. Which meant if you were sitting in the cockpit trying to taxi to the runway, you literally could not see straight ahead.
True.
You had to zigzag just to make sure you weren't about to run into something. And landing was worse. If you touched down even a little bit crooked, the plane could swing around on you. It was the kind of thing that made a lot of people give up learning to fly entirely. In 1955, Cessna made one change. They moved a small wheel from the tail to the nose. And now the plane sat flat. You could see ahead of you. Landing became way more forgiving.
I'm sorry guys, but I can't help it. I love how dramatically it's telling it. They made one small change. They moved a wheel. Like, okay. Sorry.
Giving. If you came in a little off, the plane just corrected itself. That's it. That was the innovation. And Cessna built 1,400 of them in the first year. The base price was about $9,000. A new car cost around $2,000. So for roughly the price of 4 Chevys, you could own something that could take you anywhere in the country without a road. And the people buying them weren't test pilots. They were dentists and farmers and small business owners. People who wanted to fly the way people today...
You know where I've seen these planes? In video games. Like, doesn't GTA have one of these? I don't know, I haven't played really GTA. But I don't know, I've seen these in video games, that's for sure. That's really cool though, to like own a farm and own a plane. I don't think that's possible nowadays because they're very expensive, but...
Wanted to fly the way people today want a boat, as a thing they could actually have, not just dream about. And then this cycle kicked in that basically made the 172 impossible to compete with. Flight schools bought it because it was easy to teach in. Students picked those schools because the plane had a reputation for being forgiving. More planes out there meant more mechanics who knew how to fix them, more parts available, lower insurance because the safety data went back years, which made it cheaper to own, which made more schools buy it, which brought more students. And it just kept feeding on itself. Through the 60s and 70s, Cessna kept tweaking it. New engines, better instruments, wider windows, but they never changed what made it work. Same shape, same wings, same feeling of flying something that wasn't trying to kill you. And along the way, this little training...
I don't think any plane should feel like it's trying to kill you. But I'm wondering if these students who learn to fly this exact plane, like how like can you fly a different plane after this, or you can only fly this plane? Does that make sense? English.
Plane ended up in some genuinely wild situations. In 1958, two guys in Las Vegas took off in one and just didn't land for 64 days. They refueled by flying low over a desert highway while the truck drove underneath and passed up a fuel hose. 2 months in a Cessna 172. That record still hasn't been broken.
How do you go to the bathroom, and how do you, like, that's always my first question, but how? Did they just not shower for 2 months? Ew, imagine what it smelled like inside of that plane.
An advanced solar-powered military drone tried to beat it in 2022 and crashed 4 hours short. And then, in 1987, an 18-year-old kid from Germany rented one in Helsinki, took off.
Helsinki is where I was born.
An 18-year-old kid from Germany rented one in Helsinki, took off, flew 550 miles through Soviet airspace, and landed in Red Square, in Moscow, next to the Kremlin, during rush hour.
Wow.
The Soviet defense minister got fired. Hundreds of military officers were removed. The Soviet premier actually used the whole embarrassment to push through military reforms he'd been trying to get done for years. And the plane that pulled this off was the same one flight schools were using to teach college kids in Kansas. So by the late 80s, the 172 was the most produced aircraft in history. Business was great. And then the entire industry collapsed. And it had nothing to do with the airplane. What happened was, American courts started allowing lawsuits against airplane manufacturers even when there was nothing wrong with the plane. A crash could be entirely the pilot's fault. The aircraft could be 30 or 40 years old and perfectly maintained. Didn't matter. The manufacturer could still get sued. And juries were awarding enormous settlements. And this created a problem that just spiraled. Insurance costs exploded. Those costs got passed into the price of new airplanes. Prices went up, fewer people bought, and the whole market started shrinking.
How lucky are the people who already bought one? Because you can probably repair it. You'll still have to pay insurance though. Right, Fendi? You're being very nice today. Are you sitting here recording with me? Yes, you are. Yes, you're being very nice. I love this dog so much. But I wonder how much it costs today to have one.
The U.S. general aviation industry went from building 18,000 aircraft a year to 928. 95% gone. Cessna shut down the 172 production line in 1986. Piper, the second biggest manufacturer, went bankrupt. The most successful airplane in history just stopped being made, and it stayed dead for 10 years. But during that entire decade, Cessna's chairman, a guy named Russ Meyer, kept going to Washington and saying the same thing. Fix the liability law, and I'll start building airplanes again. Not maybe, not we'll look into it. Just change the law, and I'll restart the line. He had allies. The factory workers union, because their members had lost jobs. The Pilots Association. Kansas politicians who'd watched an entire industry leave their state. And for years, nothing happened. Trial lawyers fought it. Consumer groups opposed it. But in 1994, President Clinton signed a law, just 3 pages long, that put an 18-year limit on how long a manufacturer could be sued over a plane they'd built. And Meyer kept his word. In 1996, the first new 172s in a decade rolled out of the factory in Wichita.
I love that painting job. It kind of looks like the RVs of that time, you know, when they used to have those, that style.
the first new 172s in a decade rolled out of the factory in Wichita. Within 5 years, the industry
I'm like smiling the whole video because I'm so happy that you're here filming with me. It's really nice. You're not often here. They can't really see you because your neck is so tall. You're like behind the video, but you're very cute. They know that. Yeah.
had created over 25,000 new jobs. A 3-page law and a promise someone actually kept. That's how the most produced aircraft in history came back from the dead. Newer planes exist. Better planes exist, honestly. The Diamond DA-40 is more fuel efficient. The Cirrus SR-20 has a parachute for the entire airplane. If everything goes wrong, you literally pull a handle and a parachute brings the whole plane down.
Oh my god, why is that not a thing on all aircrafts? Like bigger aircrafts could have either many of them, it's kind of like a what is it, airbag, but for an airplane. Like that would solve so many issues. Or bigger ones could have a bigger parachute or not, or have plenty, but that's smart. I mean, I feel like aircraft crashes could be avoided with this. Airplane crashes, yeah. Right?
The Cirrus SR-22 has actually become the best-selling single-engine plane in the world for private owners.
Even I would fly that. Now that I know that it has a parachute, even I would fly it.
And flight schools around the world still mostly use the 172. And the reason is kind of the same reason you're probably still typing on a QWERTY keyboard. It's not the fastest layout. Better ones have been designed, but every school teaches QWERTY. Every office uses it. Every computer ships with it. At this point, the cost of switching is higher than the benefit of anything better. That's the 172.
Why would you want to make anything better? It's perfect and it's very cute. I wonder if the paint job, you can do whatever with it. Now I kind of want a plane. I would paint it pink.
44,000
with glitter. Oh my god.
of them out there. Every instructor knows it. Every mechanic can fix it. Parts everywhere. Insurance is cheaper because the safety data goes back 70 years. To replace it, you'd have to convince thousands of flight schools on every continent to switch all at once, retrain their instructors, find new mechanics, rebuild their whole parts network. And the replacement would have to be so much better that all of that hassle is worth it. And so far, nothing has cleared that bar. Here's one detail that kind of shows you how locked in this is. A brand new 172 today costs about $450,000. The original was $9,000.
Wow.
The original, about
See, there goes my dream of having a pink airplane.
$450,000. The original was $9,000.
That's crazy.
Even adjusting for inflation, today's version is over 4 times more expensive in real terms. And it still outsells everything else for training. That's not brand loyalty. That's an entire world built around one machine.
Well, we definitely haven't watched a video on this aircraft before. But yeah, my question is that, like, if students learn to fly this aircraft, because I know that, like, some of the war aircrafts, like, when you study to fly a certain aircraft, that's the aircraft that you fly. Like, you can't really fly one type of aircraft and then switch to another because they're all different. Like, is it only to fly these, or is this to fly, like, I don't know. But that was an interesting video for sure. Very dramatic. And yeah, I think I'm gonna give up on my dream of having a pink aircraft. Thank you guys for joining me for this one. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.